Hi humans! So today I have in this studio a little package that I got from EBV, which is a company that makes the Iris. And let's have a look at what this is. They call it the cloud on a chip. And it's basically a little system that makes it really easy to hook up your IoT prototype with a cloud. And that can mean like their cloud. There's a whole management system that we'll take a look at. It can also mean your own app. It can also mean your custom URL that you want everything to talk to if you want to have your own server. One cool thing about this is it's very focused on security. But before we jump into that, let me quickly show you what we've got here. We've got these packages, delightful, and I just want to go ahead and open them up just so we can see what we're looking at. This is the Iris WRF01-EVK-0 kit. Both of these are little Arduino shields, actually. And I've got an 101 that I was working on setting this up with. I think they're designed ideally to work with the 0, which is an updated version of the Arduino Uno, but the 101 should work just fine, presumably. This is your actual connection board. Super cool. You've got an ESP8266 chip on there, a couple of FTDI chips for serial communication. You've got a host port that you use to connect to your computer, and also a log port where you can log data, and little indicator LEDs to help you get set up there. They come with headers from Adafruit, actually, but I haven't gotten around to soldering those on yet because I've been mostly messing around with the software. Besides that, we have, I'll just leave that out for funsies. Besides that, we have the DeviceDrive I/O bridge. Now, this is another shield that also comes with headers, but the two can be used together, and this basically adds your standard IoT functionalities to your Arduino so that you can connect the whole thing up to the cloud. And this doesn't actually add any connectivity, but it adds a bunch of sensors, a couple relays, and motion detector, which is pretty unusual for an example dev board, but makes it pretty useful for the kind of applications that they're suggesting. You know, with such an emphasis on security, it kind of makes sense that you'd want to build like a home security system. You could totally prototype that with this. You've got relays as well, which are really great for, you know, toggling home lighting systems and stuff like that. Anything that you wanted to happen when you detect movement. There's the actual little relays there and the terminal connectors there. Yeah, what else have we got on here? A couple other things. We'll get to that later, though. Super neat, and they're nice and flat. So you can stack them easily and they don't take up a lot of space or interfere with each other or whatnot. Okay, back to the internet. This is just at avnet.com, and then you search for EBV Iris. Super cool. They've got a whole rundown on what you can do with it. This is the sort of rundown on the Iris module itself. Some cool features here. So it supports Wi-Fi 802.11 B, G, and N. Super nice. You've got a PCB antenna on there. The command format is in JSON, which is super friendly. If you've worked with websites at all, then you've probably, you know, REST APIs and stuff, you're probably pretty familiar with JSON. Active current is 80 milliamps, but the sleep current is 10 microamps, which is pretty nice. It's pretty small. You've got the UART interface we talked about with FTDI. Security and encryption. 2048-bit SSL. I don't know if that's actually ridiculous, but it seems pretty ridiculous to me. Like the highest I usually hear about is 512, I think. I could be wrong there. It comes with preloaded software that helps you hook it up to the DeviceDrive cloud, which is super cool. And it's basically designed to make secure IoT applications really easy for anyone who doesn't even have experience with that yet. And besides the IPv4 and HTTPS protocols, you've also got MQTT, which a lot of people use with Arduino, and the ESP8266 actually, to do mesh network gateways. And that's another feature here. It's designed to be used as a mesh network gateway as well as for home automation. They suggest that you use it for wearable electronics. Obviously this dev kit is not going to be like, it's kind of clunky for a wearable application, but there's all kinds of other things, like it's pretty compact for a home automation setup or security. Really cool. So you can check out all of their info on here. You've got this adorable little cupcake thing. So, so what does this actually look like once you get started with this? Oh yeah, plus you've got Iris, the goddess of the rainbow, of course, being their little mascot there. Okay, so the DeviceDrive site you can find at DeviceDrive.com. This is what you're going to use to set up your Iris dev kit, and you can also get the dev kit on their site down here under Getting Started on the right. There's a free trial you can sign up for that helps you get a license and a product key so that you can start creating devices on the DeviceDrive cloud. And what you get once you do that is this sort of backstage management system. So I've created a product called Arduino Test with a product key that I'm not going to show you. You get a max of 10 devices on this free trial, which is plenty to get started with your own applications. Device processor, there's a couple of different options here. You can either use a forwarding agent, or you can use an internal agent. And that basically means, are you going to forward the data to another cloud, or are you going to use the internal one that can interface with the DeviceDrive app that you can download on your phone? Yeah, and so you can edit this stuff. I'm going to try not to show you my key. In fact, let's just... Oh, no, too late. Well, I'm not using it for anything yet, and I'll see if I can reset that. So much for security. So if you're curious about more about how to get started with this, I've been messing around with it a little bit today. I'm following a couple of videos that they've got. If you just search for DeviceDrive on YouTube, they've got a whole account. They've got a basics getting started thing that walks you through the whole sign-up process, as well as setting up your first couple of products. And then after that, you can use the Getting Started with the Arduino SDK tutorial. I actually have been having a couple of issues with this, so I'm going to be in touch with the developers and see if we can work through that. But in the meantime, you know, you're welcome to check it out. Just don't expect me to be able to answer your questions yet, because I'm not quite there yet. But you know, that's because I'm more of a hardware person than a software person, and so it goes. But you can also find them on GitHub. There's the Arduino WRF01 library for Arduino, and it has an example for a light switch. So that could be another way to go. I haven't actually tried this code yet. That may solve all of my problems. There was something I wanted to point out in here that was pretty cool. What was it? Don't remember, but you can kind of see how it talks to the cloud. It's sending these variables, including your product key. Introspection interfaces, that's basically what defines how the app is going to look on your phone, because you're going to build a mobile UI, which is pretty simple apparently. They have a tool for it, and that defines, you know, the kind of interface that you're going to have. All these cool things in the library for handling different states, like if there's an error, if it's connected, if it's not connected, if the message isn't sent and received, things like that. You can write your own functions for what happens when it's connected to Wi-Fi. You can write your own functions for, you know, what else not connected to Wi-Fi and whatever else you want. Message handlers. So one cool thing that you may not know about yet is that, so here you notice on line 21, they have product key and then just like little brackets where you put your own product key. If you weren't aware of it, you can actually make it possible to share your Arduino code without sharing your key, but without worrying about it either. So if you haven't seen the Arduino Cloud Editor yet, this is actually, the Arduino Project Hub actually runs on Hackster, which is super cool. So if you've added a project on here, it's also on Hackster. So the web editor has this feature where if you create a variable and it's in all caps and you prefix it with secret underscore, then it automatically creates a new tab for you that is called secret, and that's where you can store all your secret variables. So that then if you share the link, the URL to your Arduino code online with someone else, they will not be able to actually see anything stored in that secret tab. And that means that you'll be able to safely, like, keep your code all in one place, have it include your Wi-Fi information or your product keys or whatever, and have, still be able to, like, download it, upload it to your board, no problem. But at the same time, you can instantly share it and not worry about that information becoming public, which is a great thing if you're used to sharing things on GitHub and having to, like, manually sort of censor the entire thing to make sure that you're not going to invalidate your key by putting it in a tutorial, which I've definitely never done. That's a lie. So you can do it, I think you can do it on the downloaded IDE as well, but they've got a cool, project about it if you just search for store your sensitive data or whatever. So yeah, this seems like a cool one to keep an eye on. Again, I think that for me at least, I'm going to have to poke around with it a little bit more just to make sure I can get it going. But I really like the dev board that they've put together. It really kind of matches the applications that they've chosen for this. Let's take a look at it again. Yeah, like this thing, the fact that you can stack them is really cool. They've created a really functional dev kit, I think, and all it needs is for the software to catch up just a little bit, or documentation. And maybe, again, maybe that GitHub sketch is exactly what I'm looking for. And in the meantime, I'm excited to keep playing around with this and see if I can make some kind of cool office hack for the Hackster office. Alright, yeah, I hope that that's interesting and exciting for you. Let us know what you think in the comments. I'm going to take a look at those right now, actually, while we're still on the air. See if anybody's got some questions. I would like to know, what about language? Is there a presentation? I am not sure what that question means, but I think that so far as I know, all the documentation is in English. But it does seem to be a German company, if I'm not wrong. I may be wrong. In which case, you may be able to get support in another language. But you can check out the datasheet and the product brief over here. Yeah, super cool stuff. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome rest of your MCU Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow.